Hello everyone, this is TFox83. This is the first chapter in 3 chapters that will outline how to properly build, submit, and then update your mod packs using Feed the Beast launcher. So first I will explain to you how to put together a mod pack properly before you get ready to submit it to Feed the Beast. My method of choice is by using MultiMC. I highly recommend it. Now there are other ways to put together your mod pack, and if anybody wants to do it differently, that's completely up to you. But I'm going to show you MultiMC because I do find it the easiest to build the mod pack. And I know that if you're able to get it launched on MultiMC without any issues, our launcher will be able to handle it fine as well. So first thing I recommend doing is downloading MultiMC if you do not have it already. I will provide the links for all this type of stuff I'm explaining throughout the chapters of this video in the description below. So once you have it downloaded, go in and execute it, and you'll probably get prompted to log into your Mojang account. Now that is your account you play Minecraft with. It's very important you have a valid account before doing any of this. Our launcher, the Feed the Beast launcher, will not work without a valid account, and neither will MultiMC. So once you have downloaded MultiMC, you want to go in and prepare your instance. Your instance is a specific version of Minecraft which you choose, a build of Forge, and then all the mods and configs and stuff to make the mod pack work. So first thing we're going to do is just create new instance right here. We're going to name it, let's just name it Test Pack. The version we're going to be using in this tutorial is 1.7.10, as is that is the pretty much the current version of Minecraft as this video is being made. So if you need a different version, you would just hit this and go all the way down through the snapshots. Obviously, Forge is not supported yet on the snapshots, but you could go back to 1.7.2 or 1.6.4 if you were making an older mod pack. So we've selected 1.7.10. We're going to hit OK. So there's our instance test pack. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to edit instance. I would recommend to do this first. Go ahead and install Forge. It's going to download all the versions that are currently available for Forge. For my pack, I've kind of pre-put together a list of mods that I want to build as a demonstration today. I'm going to be using Forge 1207. And be sure to write that down somewhere. Remember what version of Forge you need, because you will need that when you submit your mod pack to Feed the Beast. So 1207 selected, and it went ahead and downloaded and installed it. You notice it did it pretty quick because I've done it before on this system. And that's it. We can hit close. One other thing I recommend doing is going into instance settings and go ahead and boost up the memory. Right now, the maximum amount of memory this Java instance is going to be allowed to use, or I should say the Minecraft Java instance, is only 1 gig. That's not a lot when you get into a lot of mods. Now my pack, for example, today is not a big mod pack, but I'm just going to go ahead and give it 2 gigs. So let's just bump that to 2048. Permagen, since I am using Minecraft 1.7, I'm going to go ahead and double that up to 1.8. I'm sorry, Java 1.7. So we'll just go ahead and close. If you want any additional arguments, you can put them in there, but it's not needed for this for today. So we're going to hit close, and that should save it. Just make sure it did save it. Alright, and you can go ahead and double click that to launch it, and you will see it will launch a plain version of Minecraft 1.7.10 with Forge 1207, and we can verify that when we get to our Minecraft splash screen. You can see here 3 mods loaded, 3 mods active, and indeed that's the correct Forge. So let's go in a quick game. We don't need to do anything there. Now you'll open up your instances, and now wherever you save your MultiMC and you launch it initially, it will create a root of folders. I just made a shortcut of the instances out to my desktop just for demonstration purposes to make it fast. We open up instances, you'll see we have test pack now. Inside test pack, you really do not need to worry about any of this stuff. You're going to open up your Minecraft folder. That's where your mods and config folders can be found. Core mods, we don't have to worry about anything older, anything newer than 1.5 still uses core mods, but 1.6 and newer, you do not have to worry about core mods anymore. So for example, most of the packs being submitted now are just going to not have to worry about anything but the config and mods. Some other things you might need to worry about, I'll go into that later. So we're going to open up mods, and it's blank, obviously. Like I said, I already have a select list of mods here of a pack that I've just been messing around with testing. So I'm just going to grab all these, and I'm going to just copy them, and then I'm going to paste them here. Okay, now we can leave the configuration folder blank because it will be auto-generated from every mod during launch. So now it's done. We can just minimize this out of the way, and let's go in and launch our test pack. And you'll see that it's going to actually execute and load all the mods that are in that folder. I have pre-tested this and know that I need version 12.07 of Forge. Some mods require different versions, so forth, so on. Also, note that some mods now require Java 1.7. So be sure if you're getting some Java errors, you're using 1.7. And you can see we're booted up 45 mods active, so that's great. So now if I hit quit and we go back into our instance folder here, you'll see that the config has already been generated from all those mods. So now I would take the time, since this is going to be my Feed the Beast third-party pack, I would take the time and adjust anything or nerf or balance anything that I want to do. You know, for example, in Bibliocraft, if I wanted to say, hey, you're only allowed to do, you know, so many books per enchant or something, you know, I would just make that change now and save it, because this is what will go out to everybody that puts in your code. They will get your config as well. So it's really important, especially if you have a server that you're going to be, you know, hosting, and you want to give out this code so people can play on your server. You want their configs to match, so recipes match in NEI and so forth, so on. So I'm all done doing my configs. I'm all done with my mods. I decided that's all I want. So at this point, I've got a working pack. I was able to launch it. You know, I would suggest loading up a single player world. If you have a server, go ahead and get your server loaded up. Make sure you can connect to your server with this client, because if you can't, then that means once it gets on our launcher, it's not going to work either. One thing you can also do is, let me just show you really quick. This is if you're doing a private pack, which means that you're only going to be giving it out to a select group of people. Generally, it's going to be a server that's whitelisted. If you have a small gaming community, you know, a dozen or so people are going to be playing on your server, you can go ahead and enter your server details in here, and it will generate a servers.dat folder or file that will include that. So if I go into multiplayer, there's nothing here now. Let's go in and add server. We'll just leave it named Minecraft server, and we'll just do test.com. Okay, so that's the address to server. Server resource packs. I'm just going to go and hit disable on that and hit done. Okay, now that server is there. Obviously it's not going to find it because that server does not exist, but I can just hit cancel, quit game, and now if we look in our instance, we've got a servers.dat file, and if I open that up, it's a bunch of weirdness, but you can see the test.test.com is there. And you can include that with your instance when you submit it to Feed the Beast, and then players will automatically have your server address in their client when it's launched. Now, if you're doing a public pack, I don't suggest doing that unless you have a big official server that you want to allow people to have access to. Other than that, you know, this is really strictly just for small private packs. So now that's done, we're going to want to go ahead and prep a folder that we're going to use to submit. So I'm just going to create a new folder right there. The only things that I need out of this is I need to make a Minecraft folder. So we'll just do folder Minecraft. So lowercase m on Minecraft. And then in here, we're just going to grab our config. So I'm going to copy that, paste it here. I'm going to also copy the mod. The reason I'm not dragging and dropping is because I want the originals to stay on my client here, so I can, you know, do updates in the future and whatnot. And then, like I said, the servers.dat, since it is going to be a private mod pack, let's include that. That's all you need. That's everything. Now, if I wanted to, say, for example, have images, now would be the time to grab those. So I could go in to, let me grab those really quick. Okay, so what I've done is I've downloaded the example pack.zip from our guidelines, which will be linked in the description of this video. Hopefully this is the way you found the video, was through our guidelines. I downloaded that, and if we open that zip up, you could see there is a Minecraft folder and then two icons. I'm sorry, two images. And if you look in the Minecraft folder, it has config and mods, and that's exactly how we have ours set up. It's very important that you have the root of your zip be the Minecraft folder and your images. Nothing else needs to be in there. Now, in the Minecraft, some mods add extra folders out here that are very important, and it is okay to include those. If you have a save, if you're making like an adventure map or something like that, if you have a save, you can include your save in here. Just make sure it's your own work. You know, you can't use anybody else's work. If it is somebody else's work, be sure you have the permission to use it, and you will need to verify that permission with us before you can include it. Same thing with resource packs. You can't include resource packs unless you have specific permission to redistribute them using the Feed the Beast launcher. So we know that we're good there. So let's go and grab these images and let's just drop these out. And you can see that it's very specific that it's 42 by 42 is the pixel for the icon, and it's 420 by 200 is the pixel for the splash image. The splash image is the bigger image in the launcher. I can show you here. We can just look at like Feed the Beast Unleashed. That is the splash image. The icon is this little guy over here. So see these little icons? So if I click on Horizons, that's the splash and that's the icon. Okay, so that's what those images are for. Now, if you do not provide any artwork, the best thing to do is don't include these sample images because it'll just give you these big ugly white boxes there. Just don't include any images at all, and what will happen is you'll get this no artwork provided, which, you know, isn't terrible looking. And this is actually that pack that we were just building. I was putting on the launcher to test with it, and you can see there it just says FTB in the icon. So that's where the images go. So we've already made our images. We know they're good. So let's go ahead and just, you know, put them here, open them up. We verify they're the correct pixels. If you don't have any fancy typographic software, you can just actually open it with if you hit edit, I mean, you can see it's in Paint, and if you look here, down here it says it's 420 by 200. Another very important thing is make sure when you're done editing you save it as a PNG. We will not accept anything else. It has to be PNG for it to work on the launcher. Transparency is supported, so if you do have some fancy editing software and you want to set your background transparent, it is supported because it is a PNG. Same thing with the icon. Just open that up, or you can do edit. Now this is all from a Windows platform. If you're on a Macintosh, I can't help you there, but you can see there if we look down it's 42 by 42. Another thing to note as well is the size of the image cannot exceed 150 kilobytes. Right now both of these are just one because they're blank. If it is bigger than 150, I recommend going to tinypng.com and resizing your image, and it will actually resize it to a fraction of its size, but it will withhold the quality. So you will still have the good quality of the image. It will not deteriorate the quality. So we're done there. So we've got our pack ready. We can get rid of this example pack. We don't need it anymore. We've got everything there we need. So now just double check, make sure it's all there. Our mods are there, our config. Perfect. Let's go ahead and go back to our root. So this is our root here. We have our Minecraft and then two images. We're just going to highlight those, and then we're going to send to compressed zip folder. Done. What do I want to name it? Let's name this TFox 83 test pack, and we'll do like version 1.0.0, and that's just for kind of my reference, and it also helps us at Feed the Beast as well. So that's it. So we can kind of delete all this stuff. We don't need it anymore because everything's in a zip. Now to make sure it's in the root of the zip, a lot of people actually take and create a folder then zip up the folder. That's incorrect. The tool we use to build all the packs to make them work on the launcher does not support that, and it's a lot of extra work for us to unzip it, move it out of the root, move it out of the folder, and then zip it back up in the root. So it saves us a lot of work if you can simply just zip up those files. So we just double click this and it should open right up and say Minecraft. If it opens up and says like a folder and you have to click that folder then see Minecraft in these images, you didn't zip it up properly. So make sure you zip up where Minecraft and the images are in the root of the directory. It's very important. If you don't have images, then just make sure Minecraft is in the root of the directory. You cannot rename that to anything else. It needs to be named Minecraft. And if Minecraft's your only folder, don't just zip up these in the root. Make sure you always have Minecraft. It's very important. So that's it. So our zip is there, and the next thing is we're going to go ahead and get ready to submit to Feed the Beast to get this on the launcher. So I will end this video here, and you need to continue on to chapter 2 to watch and learn how to submit your mod pack properly to feed the beast. Hello everyone, this is TFox83. Welcome to Chapter 2. In this chapter we're going to discuss how to submit your mod pack to feed the beast. So you've already built your mod pack from Chapter 1 and you should have your zip ready to go. And just to verify, your zip has your Minecraft, your images, and anything inside your Minecraft folder needs to go. And that's it. And one thing, just be sure it's a .zip, not a .rar or 7-zip. It has to be a .zip for it to work properly. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the guidelines and we're going to navigate to this submission page. This is where you're going to submit your mod pack. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I do like to go ahead and explain everything in this video to everyone so they can get a really good understanding of how it works. So let's look over these reminders. Is your mod pack a zip file? Like I just said, not a RAR 7.zip with the Minecraft folder in the root. Example, that will download that example mod pack that we just actually used to get our images. So we know we're good there. Are all extra files not needed for your mod pack removed from the zip? That would be like your save folder, resource pack folder. If all those are empty and you're not submitting anything in those, have them all deleted. We don't need all the extra stuff. So be sure, core mods folder, we don't need that for anything 1.64 and newer. Also, are both images .png and less than 150 kilobyte in size? We did verify that both of ours are. Are you following the guidelines? If you click there, it'll take you to a full text document of the guidelines on the forums. And do you have all permissions for non-listed and non-open mods? Now, this is extremely important. Now, for anybody that's used to the way the guidelines used to work, you used to have to submit all permissions, even if they were open and listed on our spreadsheet. That was kind of a pain. It took a long time. I myself have submitted quite a few mod packs with Feed the Beast, and that did take the longest. That has gotten a lot easier now. Thanks to Watchful, which is the third-party pack admin, he has created a tool that scans your pack, and it flags any permissions that are not open and not on the spreadsheet. It makes life a lot easier for myself that's building all the packs and getting them on the launcher for you guys. So, you can't slide Optifine or anything like that anymore. We do go by mod IDs, and also you're not able to get away with putting something in you do not have permission for. Okay, so it's very important to make sure you have all permissions. Okay, so what I mean by the spreadsheet is if you look here, which there's a link for this in the video and also it's in the guidelines, this is our spreadsheet. This is for Feed the Beast. This is for all the third-party packs. It's Excel. Excel Online. It's really derpy at times. Anyway, if we can pull up our mod list. So let's just do that really quick. Actually, I have it right here. We can get a list of our mods and we can scan through and compare it side by side with the spreadsheet and just see, okay, backpack. Let's go down to backpack and see backpack. Where is it at? Right there. No, backpacks. That is it. Now there is probably another mod somewhere else called backpacks. Make sure it is the one by that mod author. You can see right here the public policy and private policy are both open. Okay, that means I don't have to do anything. All right, used to with the old guidelines, you did have to list it and list the word spreadsheet. You don't have to do that anymore. If it is on the spreadsheet and it is open for the type of pack you're submitting, which we are going to be submitting a private pack, we have to do nothing. So we're done. Next we go down to Bibliocraft. We could go to Bibliocraft and also see that it's open. So we don't have to do anything. Now I've already checked all these mods and know from memory that every single one of these mods are indeed on the spreadsheet and are open. So for in case of this mod pack, I don't need to do anything with permissions. I'm done. Everything's open. Feed the Beast has full permissions to redistribute all these mods with no problem. And what it does is once it's on the once it's on the launcher, it generates a permissions file that can be found in the Minecraft folder of that pack, and you'll be able to open it and you'll be able to see that everything's open. You'll get a link to the website, you get a link to the permission, the whole 9 yards. So we respect every mod author's permission in that way. Now, for example, say this was going to be a public mod pack, okay, and I was going to include, let's see, or say I had factorization, okay? Doesn't matter if it's private or public, factorization does require you to notify. Okay, so you just click on this and it tells you what you need to do. So we need to go to his thread and type a simple line saying, you know, I'm including your mod factorization in this mod pack, and you can, you know, post a link to whatever, you know, just say the name of the mod pack, maybe say thank you for the hard work, so forth, so on, and that's it. The next thing to do is you could either link to that exact thread, okay, or you could take a screenshot of the post and host it on Imager. The only images we will accept are Imager hosted images. You cannot submit an image in the Minecraft folder or anything like you used to be able to. You need to actually generate a link through Imager and have it ready to go, and then provide the link in the permissions field, which we'll get into that. I'll add some extra mods in just for demonstrating. Okay, now another thing might happen is if it's a request. So like here, Glenn's Gases, it's request. What request means is you're going to need to actually correspond with the mod dev. So in this example, we could go to his Minecraft forum page, or if we find him on IRC, we simply ask him if we can use his mod in our pack. And if he responds yes, you just simply screenshot that conversation, host it on Imager, and provide the link to us. Simple as that. Now, if it's a mod that is not on this spreadsheet, you will need to get a little bit more information, and we'll go into that in just a second. But there is, at this time, close to 400 mods on a spreadsheet, and as we start to see new mods come out and more mods being added in, we will get them added to a spreadsheet over time. But you know, not every mod's going to be on this spreadsheet, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so we've got our permissions sorted out. We're going to go ahead and go back to here. All right, we're going to make this full screen. Pack name, we're just going to call this TFox83 test pack. Okay, that's going to be the name that shows up in the launcher. All right, a link. Now what the link is once you have your zip file, so we have our zip file sitting right here, you need to host that so we can download it. All right, and the websites that we support are right here. You can host it on Omega, Dropbox, Mediafire, OneDrive, Google, or direct wgetable download link. And that would be like if you have a web server or something like that, you can do a direct link to your web server to host the file. My recommendation is make sure it's a good web server and not one that has a super slow download. I'm usually the one that's downloading all these mod packs, and sometimes somebody has a really slow web server, and I like to be able to download a mod pack instantly. I have very fast internet, and it saves me a lot of time. All these sites allow me to do it, so just be sure if you're using a web server, make sure it's a one that I can at least download and not have to wait 30 minutes to download a 30 meg pack. So I decided to, just for demonstrations, go and host this through Dropbox. So I went ahead and put it on my Dropbox, made sure it was a public link that got generated when I host it. And here's the link, so I can actually download my pack right here. All right. So we're going to go ahead and copy this link, and I would normally get this right out of Dropbox, and I'm going to go in and post it right here. So there's my link to my mod pack. Okay, that's that zipped folder, the zipped Minecraft folder with the images. Server link, this is completely optional. If you are submitting a public mod pack, you can have a server. Servers are built the same way that you see them for the official Feed the Beast servers, for the official Feed the Beast mod packs. My recommendation would be to go to like Monster and download the server and look how it's set up. That's how you're going to want to set it up. We do not verify that those work in any way. That's completely your responsibility. So you make it just like they have theirs. Go ahead and zip it up and provide it here, and then we will host that zip, and when somebody clicks on download server, it will just download that zip. Okay, we don't change it in any way, so that's all your responsibility. But it's completely optional, and in a private mod pack, it's not needed because you're making your own server for your friends. So that's, in my case, that's what I'm doing. I've already got a server set up. There's no need for me to share a server zip. So I'm going to select private mod pack. Now, I made sure all my permissions were for private pack. You know, in my case, in this mod pack, there's no specific differences between private and public, but some mod packs, like if they had, for example, you know, like Rotary Craft, that you're allowed to use it privately, but you can't publicly. You need to get permission. So, you know, they do vary a little bit. All right, pack description of the pack. This is what shows up in the launcher as a description. We're just going to do blah, blah, blah because this is completely test and it's not actually going to be on the launcher. Pack version, I'm going to actually start at 1.0.0. That will be the default version if left blank. When I submit an update, I could change that to a 1, or if it's a big update, I could change that to 0.1. You know, if I'm going to Minecraft 1.8 in the future, I could go to 0.2. You know, it cannot, this has to be just periods or dots and numbers. It cannot be A or it can't be beta. That will not work. If you submit anything like that, we will default it and use 1.0.0. Pack code. This is completely up to you. This is the code that you will enter on the launcher to receive your pack, to download the pack. This is the pack you will give out to your friends, or if it's a public pack, you could advertise it. Pack code for me is just going to be test pack. That's what I'm going to give out to people to get this. If you leave this blank, a randomly generated code that is give or take 8 or 10 digits with numbers and letters will be generated, and you will be supplied that code when your pack is ready on the launcher. All right, but if you do want to pick your own code, you can pick it there. If the code is already taken, we will notify you and you can choose another one. All right, as far as I know, there's no length on that code, but you know, keep it one word. No crazy symbols, you know, just use letters and numbers. All right, Minecraft version, we know ours is 1.7.10. And remember Forge version. This is very important because you do not submit Forge with your pack. We actually bundle Forge for you. So I'm just going to put simply 1207. I'll know what that is. You know, I'm the one that's going to be doing that. So I'll know if you put 1207, I know exactly what I'm talking about. If you want to put the full version number of the Forge build, that's fine. You know, if it's, I don't even know what it is, 1.0.1.3 point something, you know, for example, that's fine. But the thing that's really important is the last 3 or 4 digits. If it's Minecraft 1.6, more than likely it's going to be 965, so you just do that. If you leave this blank, when I go through and approve your mod pack, I'm going to use the recommended version at that time. However, with 1.7.2 and 1.7.10 packs, I highly do not recommend you doing that. I highly recommend you submit a Forge version because they're changing so much. And when you build your pack, it's really important. Not all those mods are going to work on older versions of Forge. So just be sure to, you know, include, I would say, just to be safe, go and include the Forge version. That way everything matches. Author, this is simple. I'm the one that made it, tfox83, if I can spell my name right. You could put, like, you know, say if I had like you know, my server team, tfox83 team, however you want to put it. You can do comma, add another name there. You know, you could do an ampersand and another name. This is just going to be displayed underneath the pack name. It's going to say buy and then this line of text right here. All right, so we're going to do tfox83. If it's left blank, your forum name will be used. So whoever submits this pack. For me right now, it's tfox83 testing. I made this account just for this purpose. Okay, so now we go with Spreadsheet Mods here with permissions. Non-open Spreadsheet Mods. Okay, so that would be factorization. All right, so let's say I have factorization in there. This is what I'm going to do, factorization. All right, and then I'm just going to simply provide a link to that post. Okay, so if we go into factorization, if we just pull up his page here, somewhere I actually have one for myself for a mod pack I did a while back. But let's just, I don't know, let's see if we can just find somebody's just for demonstration purposes, or any link. let's just say this was you saying, that you are requesting, you're letting them know you're using this mod pack. So you would just click on this number and then grab this link, copy it, and put it right here. Okay, boom. And then if you've got another one that's non-open, you go ahead and hit your enter key to create a new line and type in, for example, Bibliocraft. All right, Bibliocraft. That's not spelled right, but and then this would be an actual request. So you would have to take a screenshot of your conversation with the mod dev, and you'd go ahead, it'd be an imager. So this would be your, whatever the name of your picture is, okay? And that would take care of that. Now, if you would be done, okay? That's all you have to do. You don't need to list any more information. Now, if it's a mod that is not on the spreadsheet, you have to do a little bit more work for it. Now, these are going to be few and far between because, like I said, we are constantly adding mods to that spreadsheet. But, for example, if it's not there at all, and you have permission to use it, you need to give us that information. So for example, I'm just going to make up a mod called my mod, okay? Then I'm going to list, so I'm listing the mod name. We'll do comma the mod author. Let's say it's me. Even if it is really your mod, you still need to do this because we don't know that it's your mod, okay? And then a link to the mod. So that would be like if you go here to the Minecraft forums or wherever, CurseForge, wherever you have the mod, you need to go ahead and go to its home page, not the Minecraft home page, but you get me, the the forum home page, or the mod home page, I mean. So here it is right here. So let's just use this for example. I know it's factorization, but let's just say that's my mods page, okay? And then a link to the license. For example, the license is the same link as it is for the mod. You can find his license right here. So there's no need to provide the same link again. Okay. All right. And then it says right here, if the license is not open, provide an image or link to a screenshot showing permission. All right. So then that would be this up here. Remember that screenshot? So we go ahead and grab this and put it there. All right, now this is just for demonstrations. Obviously, I wouldn't have the same thing there. So this covers this mod. It's my mod by tfox83. That's a link to the website, which includes the license, and then there's a link to my permission to use it. Done. Okay, next mod, do the same thing again. Very, very simple. If the license is open, for example, say that mod there, it had an open license, and that's shown right there in that link. You don't need to have a permission link. You just have it go right to license, and that's it. Okay, so I don't have any mods, so I'm going to pull those out of there, and I don't have any non-open spreadsheet mods, so I'm going to pull those out of there. Okay, that's it. Now, by clicking Submit Your Knowledge, you have full permissions to distribute your mod pack publicly or privately, subject to your submission on the Feed the Beast launcher. Okay, just kind of briefly go back over, make sure we've got everything. We've selected private mod pack, so forth, so on. Done. Let's hit Submit. Okay, now what happens is when you come into the forums, you can see it directed me right to this link. One thing I suggest doing as a mod pack author, if this is your mod pack, I go ahead and suggest that you bookmark this forum thread because this is where all activity about your about your mod pack will be. Now, if you somehow lose it and you forget or something like that, you just come into forums. These are the Feed the Beast forums. You come down to third-party mod packs, and you'll see a link that says your mod packs. If you click there, there it is. You're only going to see the packs that you've submitted. You're not going to see everybody else's. They're all listed private. And that's, for example, why I made this account. So I can show it exactly how you guys will see it because I obviously see them all. So right now it says awaiting approval. It says private mod pack tfox83 test pack. Okay, I click on it. And that's it. Now it's just a waiting game for you to wait for me to verify it, check it, make sure it's good. And then I'll get it sent up to a launcher. So right now it says awaiting approval. I will change that to approved or denied. If I change it to denied, more than likely that means you're missing permissions or you do not have the correct permissions. And I will submit to you, let you know what permissions you're missing, or if you did something wrong, or if something isn't correct with your pack or something like that. I will communicate in this thread with you. And that's it. Once I set it to approved, then I will post the uploads on Monday nights and Thursday nights. New packs go to launcher, sometimes even more frequently. Just depends on when I have time and when Watchful, which is a third-party admin, has time. Both he and I do these packs together. I need him to pull the trigger to send them to the actual launcher itself. It only takes seconds for him to do it, but sometimes we will push out new packs almost right away. It just depends on time. But you should never have to wait any more than 3 or 4 days. And that's it. And you're done. Your pack is submitted. So that's going to wrap up this chapter. In the next chapter, which will be the final chapter of this video, I will explain how to update your mod pack now that it's on the launcher. Hello everyone, TFox83 here. Welcome to Chapter 3. In this chapter we're going to explain how to update your mod pack. So it's been a few weeks and you've gotten notice on your thread that your pack has been live. So if we go into forums, we'll come down here to third party mod packs, your mod packs. You'll see it now. It says it's approved and your pack is now in the launcher with code test pack. Let me know if you have any problems. And that was myself responding to what would be your pack. So you've been playing for a week or two and you decide you want to remove and add a few mods, make a few config changes, and update your pack. Not a problem. So I have done that with my test pack. I actually decided to remove a few mods and add a few mods. So here's my Minecraft folder. Here's the config and the mods with the new changes done in both. So same thing as before. Now I'm not changing my images, so I'm not going to include them. So I'm just going to zip up this, send to a compressed folder, and we're going to name it Test Pack 101 because that's going to be my next version number that I chose to use. We'll drag this out there and we'll get it hosted on Dropbox. Alright, so just pretend that I just hosted on Dropbox. I now have a link right here that to direct to that pack. Okay, so we're going to come here, and I'm just going to simply say, I would like to submit an update to my pack. Okay. Version 1.0.1. Okay. Now you can word it a little bit differently, but just be sure these key pieces of information get included into your pack. Okay. The Forge version I would like to use is 12.07. Okay. For now, for example, I'm using the same Forge I did initially, but you're probably going to change, especially with 1.7.10 packs. They're changing a lot. Now, you don't have to worry about the Minecraft version unless you do change. Now, if you were going to a new Minecraft version, like say 1.8 or something in the future, you would need to specify that because we need to know. But mine didn't change, so that's it. Now I'm just going to provide a link to the mod pack. So we'll just grab this link here. We'll just add it in. So the pack can be downloaded here. And we'll paste the link there. You can get fancy and use the little link thing if you want, but for just this, I'm just going to do it quick. Okay. Now, there's no need to specify any mods that have been added or removed unless you're adding a mod that has a non-open permission on a spreadsheet or it's not on the spreadsheet. And this is where you will refer back to guidelines on how to do that. So, for example, I added factorization, and we do know that factorization, you have to notify the mod dev that you're using the mod. So, I have added factorization. Here is my permission. Okay, and then it's just going to be a link to Imager of that screenshot or of the direct post. Either way you want to do it, as long as it's a link that takes us directly to that post or an image of the post, however you find easier, the way you want to do it. So this would be, whatever.com. Okay, that's the link. So that's it. Now, if it's a mod that's not on the spreadsheet, then you would need to list the mod name, the author, a link to the mod, and a link to the license if it's different than the link to the mod. And if it requires a specific permission, a link to that permission, either with a screenshot through Imager is the easiest way. And that's it. So I'm done. So I submitted my update. We've got everything zipped up. Just kind of go through your reminders again in your head. Also on the guidelines, we'll have all the reminders. You can just easily click right here on my signature to get right to the guidelines. And you'll be able to just make sure everything's correct. You'll go ahead and hit post reply. And that's it. And then I will see your update. I'll go ahead and verify your permissions, and then I'll get you updated, and I'll just respond back with a simple message saying updated. Now, if you submit an update, which I don't encourage this, but if you submit an update and you realize after you update you made a mistake and it's not launching, or something's not right, or you left something out. Like I said, if you're doing a server, always be sure that your client connects to your server before you zip up your instance and send it to us, because if it doesn't on your end, it's not once it gets on the launcher. So if for some reason you made a last minute change or something messed up and you need to submit a hot fix, you can go ahead and just respond as quick as you can saying, I have a hot fix. Provide the link again to the hot fix. Specify the forged version every time, even if it's the same, because if I do not see a forged version, I will set it to recommended, and I do not recommend that right now until Forge for 1.7.10 stabilizes out. Now if you're doing a 1.6.4 pack, everything's recommended then, so it doesn't matter. But anything on 1.7, I highly recommend include a Forge every time. I'm not going to go looking back up through the threads to see the last version of Forge you used. If you do not provide a Forge version with your update, you're going to get recommended. Same thing with a hot fix. So if you submit a hot fix to me, generally within 24 hours, I will try to get that hot fix up to the launcher. All right. I can't promise it. It depends. Like if it's a Saturday and I'm going for the weekend, and Watchful is going for the weekend, odds are that hotfix may not go out until Sunday night or Monday morning, but we will try our hardest to get a hotfix out within 24 hours for you. As far as updates go, right now our policy is we're going to have cutoffs. So if you submit an update by Sunday night at midnight Pacific Standard Time, which is -8 GMT, your pack will be updated and go on the launcher by the following day at midnight, which would be Monday at midnight Pacific Standard Time. If you submit a pack after that, and as long as you submit it by Wednesday at midnight Pacific Standard Time, it will go out by Thursday midnight. So we're doing Monday and Thursdays are going to be our standard upload days. Now, if I have a chance to get caught up and I can get things done, it may go out sooner than that, but that is our guaranteed upload days as of right now. Those will be subject to change over time. That's why I always suggest, maybe even before you submit an update, just glance over the guidelines, maybe even follow the thread. If you click there, you can go up here and hit follow thread. Like right now I'm watching this thread, you can hit watch thread, and then anytime that Watch or myself does any changes to the guidelines, you will get a notification here in your alerts that there has been a change made to it, and you can read it. Also, I highly suggest following, there's a status updates. If you go into third-party mod packs, pack guidelines and discussion, right here, status updates for private mod pack owners. I will provide a link to this in the description of the video. I recommend as well go ahead and watching this thread just by clicking here. I want to receive email notifications also, so I'm going to hit watch thread, and now anytime that Watch or myself posts to this, you will get a notification. This is basically just, like I said, status updates. Like right now you can see just the other day he posted some information. This is just information relating to third-party packs that we feel is important enough for you guys to see. So yeah, that is pretty much it. And once you get a notification from myself or Watchful saying it's been updated, that means that it should be on the launcher. Sometimes if you go to do it right away, when we post stuff to the launcher, it has to be synced out over across a bunch of servers worldwide. That sometimes takes up to 5 to 10, sometimes 15 minutes to happen. So if you do go to put your code in right away, or if you notice that your update it's still at your old version, just give it a few minutes and let us know. Or just give it a few minutes before letting us know. I mean, if it's been a half an hour and it's still not there, then respond back letting us know there's a problem, you're not seeing your update, and then we will look into it to get it resolved for you. One other thing to know: every time you submit a version, it is going to be set to recommended. If for some reason, which this is only going to cater to a very small amount of people, if for some reason you do not want it to be the recommended version, let us know when you submit your update. I don't think there's really any need for that with this system, but if for some chance you are doing some beta testing or something and you don't want it to be recommended, just let us know and we will keep your older version recommended. Also, there's one other thing I was going to say. That's about it, I think. Like I said, please refer to the guidelines at all times. They do change from time to time. This is a brand new system we're using. It should make things a lot smoother for everybody submitting mod packs, and also a lot smoother for us. We can get your packs up faster, have update frequencies more than once a week. It should, make it a lot more desirable to have a third-party pack with Feed the Beast, and that's our overall goal. And if you ever have any problems with your pack, always just refer to your thread. This thread that you see is private. Only myself, Watchful, and you can see it. So any problems you have with your pack, I suggest you post in your private thread here with us, because it will get seen by one of us right away. If you post something out somewhere else in the forums, odds are I won't see it. So if you're having an issue, if it's not launching, if it's a Minecraft related crash, that's on you. It's your responsibility to make sure your pack launches before you send it to us. But if it's something related to the launcher, or if your pack isn't showing up, just please let us know in this thread, and we will get to it as soon as we can, and get it out for you. And that, I believe, pretty much sums up everything. So you've learned how to, in Chapter 1, how to build your mod pack. Chapter 2, you learn how to submit it properly, and now in Chapter 3, you've learned how to update. So that should pretty much take care of everything. There's one more small thing. If you do have somebody else that helps you with your packs and you want to add them, in the guidelines there will be a form that they can fill out and submit it. And what we will do is we will merge the two threads together, and they will mirror one another, and that person will be able to reply here as well as you, and be able to submit updates on your behalf. The only thing we ask is that you verify that other person. You will need to give them a link to this thread, so you just give them this link here, and when they fill out that form, they will need this link to be able to generate that form correctly. So that should be enough verification, but we just like to make sure that some random person isn't helping you with your mod pack without you knowing. So that's about it. I think this system would be a lot easier for us to manage, and a lot easier for you guys to sort out problems and issues and get your packs up, and I think it'll be a great experience. All right, so thank you guys for watching so much. If you have any questions about the video, you can, I would suggest probably the best place to put any questions that you have about this video. You can put them in the description of the video in the comments section. That's fine. I will see them. But also, you could put them in the PAX guidelines and discussion. You could simply start a new thread here. That's what this area is for. And state your question here. If you have a thread already generated, if you've already submitted your pack and you have a question about updating, you can submit it in that thread if you would like, or you could submit it out here. Anything you submit out here, everybody can see, obviously. So if it's a private pack or something like that, don't include your code. If you do have a public pack and all your permissions match for public, and we have verified it, once your pack is on the launcher, you are advised to go ahead and create a thread on the public packs. You just create a thread, put the name of it. You could do some advertising. If you have an official server for it, you can advertise that. Whatever you need to do, you do it in this thread here, and it gives people an area to kind of come to you with bugs about the pack. You know, if they have an issue with a couple mods in it or something like that, they can communicate directly with you. So that's my that's my recommendation. As I highly recommend putting your public pack here, but just hold off until it is on the launcher, because sometimes if your permissions don't match up or something like that, we may need to get a little work done before it's on the launcher. Once it's on the launcher, go ahead and create a new thread here. And once again, this is just for the non-listed public packs. Now, a lot of people ask about listed public packs. Our policy is different for those. We are going to have you need to have your pack on the launcher for a few weeks. If you feel like your pack, after reading over the guidelines, and if you feel like your pack is a fit to be a listed public pack, which means it will show up on the launcher by default, like Agrarian Skies, Crash Landing, the TPPI Test Pack Please Ignore actually just went listed public a few days ago. If you feel you're a fit for that, just let us know in your private thread that you have going with us, and just say, I would like to request my pack to be publicly listed. And we'll go over it, and we will look, and there's a team of people that we work with to see if your pack meets those requirements. And if it does, we will contact you back stating it does. If it does not, we will let you know, and it will remain a non-listed public. Now, that I think sums up everything. Like I said, any questions, you can either comment in the video or create a thread in the guidelines discussion area, and we'll be more than happy to help you guys do anything. So once again, thank you all for watching, and this concludes my tutorial for third-party mod packs.